Howdy folks, and welcome back to another episode of Tyria Talk. My name is Richie, aka Otter, and this show is all about the totally tubular MMO Guild Wars 2. Now this is episode number 42, and today the topic is going to be playing Guild Wars 2 with children, or kids, or little ones, however you want to say it. Now let me just first start off by saying what this video is not. This video is not going to be about whether there are age-appropriate things in the game, or whether you should expose children to violence at an early age, or any of those kind of parenting type, issues. That's an individual decision that parents have to make about their own children based on their children's own behavior, based on their own likes and dislikes and that kind of stuff. So I'm not going to get into that whole debate. But, as most of you who follow my channel know, I do play video games with my kids, and I have played Guild Wars 2 with my kids. There's some videos of our gameplay up on the YouTube, so you can check those out if you're interested. But I have a 6-year-old son and an 8-year-old son, and both of them have been playing Guild Wars 2, and that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, is because I've been playing a lot with them recently, not on camera, but they are having a ton of fun in it, and I just kind of wanted to comment about a couple things in the just that I've observed about what makes Guild Wars 2 attractive to my kids. So I will say real quick, I mentioned that they're not playing on camera. I was doing a series called Tyria with Tots, where I would record their voice while they were playing the game, and they said some hilarious things. They're really not overly interested in doing that right now. I might do that again at some point if they want to do it. I'm not going to force them to do it. But once they started realizing that the camera was on and I was recording them, and well, not the camera wasn't on them, but I was recording, and they saw a couple of the videos that I made and put out there, and they thought it was funny. But now they kind of have that, I don't know, that apprehension about it. So so it's not something that I've continued at this point. We'll see if it comes back if they at a later point, if they enjoy it. But anyway, so they have been playing. Both of them have picked to play Rangers, and the reason I think is pretty obvious. They like the whole pet system. They want to have a pet. They want to name the pet. They want to compete with each other to find more juvenile pets, and actually, they check each other's things. Boys will be boys. They want to best each other. They check every morning. They're like, oh, how many pets did you unlock? And how many pets did you unlock? Dad, can you unlock a pet for me? Dad, can you find me this pet? Can you do that? And it kind of drives me crazy a little bit, because I'm constantly looking up where to find the pets and getting them on their characters and stuff. But they seem to enjoy it quite a bit, and they have some pretty funny names for some of them too. And so that's a big draw. Rangers, 2 thumbs up from my kids. They also, here's kind of the one of the interesting things I wanted to talk about was they both have World of Warcraft characters, right? They actually, I think they're all close to level 60 on their characters, and we haven't played that in a while, but they played that quite a bit, obviously, to get to level 60. And the thing I always noticed about the way they played that game was, it's very quest-driven, right? And my kids don't want to read the quest text. Nobody really does, right? But they really don't want to even, see what the objectives are or even figure it out. And it was always kind of an issue while they were playing. A lot of times I was sitting there with them while they played. But if they were trying to play on their own, I'd have to come over there and be like, all right, well, this quest wants you to kill 12 of these ogres, and this quest wants you to pick up 5 of these barrels and different things. So I kind of have to explain the different quests that were in the area, and then they would be good on their own for 10, 15 minutes until they finished those quests, and then I'd have to kind of point them again and say, this is what you have to do next. Guild Wars 2 has been great because, the times when I'm not sitting right next to them playing, they're just exploring. They kind of know the general area where things are too hard for them. They look at the levels of the creatures, and they go, oh, this place is too hard for me. And they just hit the map, and they teleport back to where they're familiar with, or where they know there's easier stuff. And they go for longer periods of time without needing me to kind of direct them. And they realize that it's they can just run around and kill things. They can run around and, do the hearts and the events. They know all about, the orange circles. Look out for those and try to figure out what to do. And I really find that it's able to engage them for longer periods of time without them, requiring direction, which is really, really fun. And I like that a lot. The other thing that they really seem to be drawn to, and it's not surprising, is the die system. They love finding new dies, unlocking new dies. They love my son Logan, my younger son, he's 6. Every time he finds a new piece of armor, he has to immediately dye it a different color, and it's really funny seeing him get loot and be like, oh, it's an instant go to the dye section kind of thing. And of course his characters look a lot like Steve Bright, you know, Rainbow Bright's older brother. They're very, very interesting, very brightly colored characters, and yeah, they're not, it's pretty funny, they wouldn't be able to hide. There's no subterfuge going on with these characters. But it's funny, you know, seeing them do that. The other thing that's interesting is watching them run around is they don't seem too overly concerned with helping other people at this stage. So I could totally see my account being like looked at by some people as, man, that guy's a jerk, because there would literally be 2 of them in an area, like my son and somebody else in an area, and they'll be fighting a bunch of creatures, and the other person will go down, and he'll be like doing this, and they'll win the fight, and then my son will just wander off and just won't revive them or anything. I'm just like, no, you kind of have to help other people out. They're like, no, I just want to go kill the next thing. So that's kind of interesting. So if that happened to you, and you know, if you're on Blackgate and somebody did that to you, then that could have been my son's. It wasn't me. Wasn't me. Just wasn't me. So there are a couple things that don't work so well. The fact that there's a lot of moving around and dodging during the combat, that's a little bit difficult for them to do. Neither one of them has gotten the hang of dodging. You know, they don't strafe. They can't circle strafe around mobs really well. They can move around really well with just the mouse, but you know, it's a little bit advanced. So there are a lot of times where things just get too hard for them. They stumble into a veteran or anything like that, and they're pretty much toast if I'm not there to help them. But I love the waypoint system, because they die, they go, oh well, and they just hit M, and they waypoint. In other MMOs like World of Warcraft, whatever, they die, they have to run back from the graveyard to kind of revive themselves. And, you know, it's a little bit of a challenge for them to find where they died by using the map and stuff like that. So, again, once, you know, it's set up very well for them to be able to, yeah, they can handle falling off a cliff, or they can handle getting killed. They just, you know, teleport back and they're fine. So, overall, their experience so far is doing really, really well. They're loving the game quite a bit. I'm thinking about getting a second account now so that we can actually play together. Of course, it's funny, I gotta share this with you. This is pretty much the cutest thing ever. So I told my kids that we can get a second account and we can install it on the other computer that we have, and that way I can play, you know, on my account and play with them. And I said, but the bad news is you have to start a character over and from scratch, and you know, build them back up. Now their characters are only like level 6 or 7, so it's not like it's a long time commitment, but I put my older son, Richie, to bed this evening, and he's 8 years old, and he comes out of his bedroom like 15 minutes later, and he hands me this handwritten note. And this note says, "Dear Dad, I really like my Guild Wars character. Please don't make me have to make a new character on Mommy's computer." And I was like, oh, that's like the saddest thing ever. So I went back into his room, and I gave him a kiss, and I said, if we get another account, I can remake your character on that and level them up to the exact same place and get you the exact same pets and everything like that, so you won't even know that it's a different character. And he seemed to be appeased by that. So it was really cute. I just thought I would share that with you. So that's going to wrap it up. Do any of you guys out there, guys or girls, play with your kids or your younger brothers or nieces or nephews or anything? Share your stories. Who plays Guild Wars 2? What do they like about it? What do they not like about it? Give me your thoughts in the comment section below. And you can also, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can be notified when future videos are released, because that's always cool. And feel free to give me a like and a favorite if you enjoyed this video. And you can follow me on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, and Twitch. I'll put all that information on the screen. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and good night. Or good day. Depends on when you watch this. But goodbye. Want to see a useless talent? Here it goes. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren. Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, Lincoln. Johnson, Grant, Hayes, Garfield. Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, Roosevelt, Truman, Eisenhower, who was after Eisenhower? Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama. Pretty useless, huh?